there's this beautiful saying that I've heard a while back. It's called one day or day one. And I find that to be quite powerful. As in, it's either one day out in the future, or is it going to be right now in the present? I've been going on this self-development journey, self-discovery for some time now, for a couple years. Going through trial and error. And I think that's where solo.harmonies speaks for itself. Is that in my journey, in a lot of other people's journeys, is that we're going through this life solitarily, where we don't have anyone by our sides, we don't have anyone to speak to, no guidance, no direction. And it's difficult because sometimes, we get caught up with life, we get caught up with our own minds, we get caught up with the distractions of this world. So for years I've been trying to become the better version of myself. And it's difficult, man. It's difficult when you're doing it alone. Going through trial and error, researching, trying to gain the knowledge, trying to focus on my routine, focus on each step. But it's difficult. It's difficult to let go of what hurt you in the past, let go of the baggage, let go of your habits, let go of the mindset. Actually alternate and change and adjust everything in your life. It's difficult as a man doing it alone, So I don't know, I've been going through highs and lows recently, and I decided to take a step into monk mode. I decided to say I'm going to take 3 months off, and I'm going to focus on becoming a better version of myself. So I'm actually 3 weeks in now into this 3-month journey, and unfortunately I relapsed. I set a goal for myself. I said that I'm going to go 3 months without indulging in the substance. I'm going to go 3 months without focusing and distracting myself. And yet it came to the realization that I've been doing it all wrong. The 3-month journey, this monk mode, I've been doing it all wrong. Where I set out a goal, I said, this is my reason why, here's my purpose, I need to focus on it. And yet the most fundamental pieces of health, overall health, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, I haven't been pursuing, I haven't been doing. And yet what was so powerful is that I was consistent with a few things, but lacking in the most important areas. So I decided to take 3 months because I was tired. I was just tired of feeling like cuck, man. I was tired of feeling low, of not being there for my peoples, not being there for myself, not being at peace with myself, always fighting, always arguing, just always letting myself down, And it stems from a lot of things where I noticed that I actually move around with a lot of anxiety. I move around always on edge. My sympathetic nervous system is higher than my PNS, my parasympathetic nervous system. So which was ruining a lot of my relationships, which was ruining my daily routine, my life, my joy for life, my relationship with God, So I decided to take that 3 months of monk mode, as I've been doing a lot of research on monk mode, on detoxing, on there's a whole lot of list, like the list goes on. And through the couple days into it, I relapsed and I said, okay, I went wrong here, let's move it forward. So with the 3 months, I decided to put a whole long list of things that I need to accomplish, things that I need to get done, And yes, I was only focusing on the 2, which I feel like is one of the most important for me, which was the consistency in the gym, actually weightlifting and boxing and getting my cardiovascular system right. And it was eliminating this toxin from my life. But one thing I noticed is that the one correlates to the other. You can't have one and do the next. You have to almost get your fundamentals right in order for the rest to follow, you know. And that is something that I lacked. That is something that I didn't notice. And I noticed that I started doing it wrong. Number one was my sleep was off. And I've been doing a lot of research on a lot of things, and I noticed that sleep is the most important for overall health that you need to get done, that you need to make sure that it's in check. And my sleep was off. I noticed that yes, I was going to the gym, yes, I was lifting heavy, yes, I was consistent with it, but I wasn't getting as much gains. I wasn't getting enough like almost mental clarity with it. Is because my sleep was off. And it wasn't even my quantity, it was my quality. My quantity was actually exceeding the amount of times you're supposed to be sleeping. It's supposed to be 6-8 hours, and yet when that alarm clock goes off at 6:30, I tend to fall back into sleep because I feel like I was running away from reality, as my dreams painted this perfect picture of where my life is supposed to be, where my life should be, you know. So that was actually decreasing my overall growth, my progress was my sleep. And then coming to the point of me relapsing, I noticed that, damn, I'm 3 weeks in, I'm feeling so good, and yet it's still not enough. It's still not enough. And somebody said that, because I'm very hard on myself, you know. I don't know, every single day I was like, I'm not happy with my progress, I'm not happy with accomplishments, you know. And somebody said to me that someone's downfall is not the lack of doing it. No? Someone's downfall is not the lack of doing it, but is the lack of not being proud of yourself when accomplishing that, you know. Someone said that being too hard on yourself won't get you far. And so that's something I noticed 3 weeks in, and I relapsed, and then I'm saying, damn, like now I'm feeling low. Like, why did that happen, you know? And for these past few days, because it happened a few days ago, now I've been feeling the lowest I've ever been, man. I've been sleeping late. I haven't been focusing on things that are important to me, my purpose, you know. And I just wanted to touch on these few phrases that came along these past few months. I've researched about it, I know about it, I just haven't implemented it in my life. I feel like that's the first steps of self-discovery, self-development, is actually the research phases. You have to go through the phase of actually researching and understanding what is self-discovery, what is self-improvement. Once you do that, that's when you can step into action, you know. So I've been through the phase of understanding what it is to be healthy, what it is to breathe, what it is to be at peace, what it is to be calm, what it is to be consistent, to build that momentum. I understand it. Now it's just in the sense of taking action, and I took action. It's just one thing I lacked is the fundamentals. No? I noticed that my sleep was off. I started indulging in instant gratifications. This is the social media, this is the porn and shit like that. And through that I started releasing in those areas instead of releasing in the natural ways that God intended it to be. And that was affecting me in so many ways, is that sure, I was at peace, I was breathing, I was meditating 5-10 minutes a day, you know. I was meditating, I was breathing, I could feel myself again, and yes, it still wasn't enough. And that was almost killing me slowly on the inside. And I know it's been a while since I came on this channel. It's just because I felt like I wasn't ready, you know, to share my story. As someone told me, actually it actually stems from this young boy that I met up with. His name was Buki. Innocence of a child. I had this young interaction with him. I'll share it. And what was so beautiful is that this young boy, he's growing up in such a bad environment that's actually gonna bring him down in life. And yet him now, at that presence, he just showed innocence. He showed this angelic presence. And something spoke to me and said that my story is not for me, man. You know, my story, me going through this pain, is not for me. Sometimes God uses each disciple, uses each person, not more so for him to be fulfilled, but so he can fulfill others. You know, that is something that I'm realizing, is that my pain and my story is not for me. And I spoke to this powerful lady. You know, I had an interview with her, and we were speaking. She says, what encourages me, what inspires me to do this, you know, the YouTube, and to speak, and to speak with such boldness. And you know, then I said, I don't know, it's more in the sense of I like sharing and I like listening to stories. I feel like stories are powerful. Then we started going in a bit deeper with it, and she was saying that sometimes our pain and our struggle is not for us, it's for another person. We have to go through that pain so somebody else doesn't have to. And then it's beautiful, because now I'm hearing from, you know, sure, the typical, like Andrew Tate and all, he's saying that all of the pain and all of the hurt, struggles he's going through and he's gone through is not for his own happiness, it's for the next person. So his family can be straight, his brother can be straight, his relationship with his woman can be straight, you know. And I just find that to be powerful. So that is something that I'm realizing now, is that for the past 3 weeks I've been selfish and I've been putting myself first, instead of putting my story in front of that, my purpose in front of. I've been putting me in front of my purpose. And purpose can stem to anyone, you know, it can stem to any definition in your eyes, but it for me, it just stems into inspiration, you know. Purpose wise, it stems from me inspiring the world, you know. So that's why I hopped back onto this channel, in the sense of, I was looking at the views in the beginning, and it's not looking wow. But then again, it's nice, because I look back at to my first video, walk the path that's intended, and that which does not follow stays behind. And it spoke to me. Now I'm saying, sure, that my story is not necessarily for me, but just in the fact that whoever hears it, will just get a bit of inspiration with that. So I just wanted to hop on here and just to speak on that. Get your fundamentals right in terms of monk mode. I've been doing a lot of research on dopamine detox, on semen retention, on sleep, on just overall health, on the gym, on breathing, meditation. And I feel like you just need to understand what is the fundamental core values that you need to implement in your routine, so you can pick up and build that momentum. Number one is sleep. You have to get your sleep right. Number two is you need to decrease the dopamine intakes that you've been taking, as that has been fucking me over completely. Haven't been enjoying life. Sure, I might be more at peace, I might be happier, I might be able to breathe a little bit more, but yet I'm still walking around not enjoying it. Is because I'm indulging in so many instant gratifications. Is that when I'm with people that I love, I can't even express, I can't even feel their love. No? Then it comes from the whole semen retention, in the sense of your belly, your core is so powerful, and in terms of just releasing it through nonsense, it's a waste. You're wasting your energy, wasting your life force. That was something I was doing. You know, sometimes I come on this, I don't even have a clear direction of where it's going. I just needed to hop on you and say that this is where I'm at, man. I'm feeling low. I feel like all the videos I've been saying, I've been feeling low. But I will be speaking more on addiction, on dopamine, on just love, on joy, on semen. I will be speaking more on that. I just thought I might hop on you and actually just share my story a little bit, because I noticed that every time I'm feeling like this, there's no one I can talk to. There's no one I can pour it into. So I just hope that you can relate a bit to my story, can relate to my journey, as in this addiction, as in self-discovery, self-improvement, and maybe we can build a community, build a relationship in the sense of we can push each other, we can be there for each other. And I'm gonna say I don't have anyone, man. As I say, it's solo. A solo harmonies. You have to go through so many heartbreaks, so many uh, hurtful upbringings for it to be harmonious. Then again, it's still a solitary journey, you know. So I just thought I might hop on here and say that I'm just at that point of understanding where I went wrong, understanding what am I doing wrong. Then it's just time to push even harder, you know. I lost sense of purpose, I lost sense of direction, and that's when everything else came back. I was walking a different path, walking the wrong path instead of walking the intended path. Because if you walk the intended path, everything else, all the selfishness, the greed, the lust, the addictions, the dirty habits, old habits, all fall behind. So it's either day one, as in today, or is it one day, sometime in the future?